What's going on YouTube? Um, if you haven't noticed, the past couple Fridays, I've been doing a Apple Arcade review. I do it on Friday because that's when the new Apple Arcade games have been coming out. There have been a cluster each Friday of Apple Arcade games, and I'll usually pick one and do a first impressions on it. I wasn't going to do one this week because the games that came out, they really didn't interest me that much, at least initially. But one in particular, the one that I'm reviewing today, a couple days after Friday, I decided to give it a little bit more time because I downloaded it today, Sunday, and I wanted to see what the reviews were going to look like before my first impression. Because the last couple weeks, I made a first impression, and sometimes people were on the same page as me. I generally liked the last 2 or 3 games that came out. I had opinions, and for one, I think Fallen Knight, even the developer replied to my video saying that they were going to fix some of the issues that I had actually had with the game. But overall, the games were nice games. I thought highly of them, but I'm seeing like 1 and 2 star reviews that are complaining about things that I didn't have a problem with. So I figured this week I was going to wait to see a couple of reviews so that I could go into the game and see beforehand if I was going to have something to look out for. Let's put it that way. And I was quite happy with this game. And this is another game that got some pretty negative reviews. And honestly, I didn't have any problem with it. So this is going to be a pretty short review because this particular game, I don't want to spoil anything. So consider this pretty much as spoiler-free as you can get, but still let you know what the game's about because it's a preferred download. It's very short. But anyway, that's what we're going into today. So enjoy the review, and I'll see you in the next video. So today's game is called Discolored. This is available right now on Apple Arcade. It's been available since past Friday, and it's a puzzle game. Now it's presented in first-person mode. The left side of the screen controls your movement, and the right side of the screen controls your camera. It's pretty simple. I didn't feel like I needed to use a controller, even though a controller would make things a little bit smoother, I assume. But I managed to get through the entire game. This is a game that I finished at this point. And I managed to get through the entire game using the on-screen controls. That center dot that you see allows you to interact with something. It will actually change to a triangle when it's something that you can interact with, which helps you on a few occasions when sometimes you don't know what you can particularly interact with. Anyway, this is kind of like an opening scene, but pretty soon you're immersed in a world without color. This is the area that you play. It's like a little diner. And basically, you want to keep a lookout for things because I'm not going to spoil any of the key features to this puzzle. But this whole entire area is one giant puzzle. And you're going to interact with things in order to restore color. And by restoring color, you open up more items that you can interact with. And then those items will help you to restore more color to this world. Now, the only other tip that I'm going to give is that once you restore a certain color, and you're going to restore them in the order of green, blue, and red. But once you restore them, it doesn't mean that you need to leave that color on at all times. You have the ability to take away the color again by taking away the prism that initially gave you that color. And you're going to need to do this because there are certain items that will only be appearing when one color is available without another. And there are certain things that you can only interact with when a certain color is not being used at the same time. So it's going to take some backtracking, and it's going to take some pre-thought, I guess you can say, in order to figure out how to interact with everything you need to and when you need to interact with everything you need to in order to completely solve the puzzle of this area. I was able to finish this game in maybe an hour and a half. And I was very proud of myself for doing so because it's been a long time since I've played a game like this. To be honest, the last game I remember playing like this was probably Myst. And that was a long time ago. So I didn't need any hints. I didn't need to get a walkthrough or anything. I was pretty much able to figure out everything myself. And I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to leave it at that. Definitely give this game a try if you like this style puzzle game. I think that it's easy enough to get through without any hints. But if you go into the menu, there is a way to give you a few hints to the game. There's a special mechanic where if you're looking at something, you can see what it's associated with somewhere else in this building. And you can consider that a hint because it'll kind of guide you along the way. But aside from figuring out that that existed, I turned it back off and I didn't need it for the rest of the game. So we're going to leave it at that. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Signing out.